What if I told you that one of the quirkiest sports cars of the 1960s didn't come from Britain, Germany, or Italy, but from Sweden? While Triumph and MG dominated the lightweight roadster scene, one Scandinavian automaker, better known for quirky sedans, decided to do something radical. This is the story of the Saab Sonett, a car that fused aircraft-inspired engineering, an unconventional powertrain, and bold design into one of the most unique sports cars of its time. Born in the heart of Sweden, the Sonett's origins trace back to the 1950s, in a barn near Saab's Swedish manufacturing facility. A small team led by Rolf Melde worked in secret, creating what would become the Saab 94, later renamed the Sonett. The name came from a Swedish phrase meaning how neat it is, and neat it certainly was. Saab's aircraft heritage played a huge role in its design. The engineers, originally aircraft designers, applied aviation principles to the Sonett's construction. The lightweight riveted aluminum chassis was directly inspired by aircraft fuselages. To cut costs, they crafted the body from fiberglass, a first for Saab. The original Sonett, a three-cylinder wonder. Most sports cars of the time were rear-wheel drive, but Saab stuck with front-wheel drive. Under the hood sat a tiny 748cc three-cylinder, two-stroke engine producing 57 horsepower. Weighing just 1,200 pounds, the Sonett was quick for its size, but its real charm was in the unique two-stroke sound, more akin to a motorcycle than a car. The two-stroke engine fired every revolution of the crankshaft, making power delivery feel different from conventional four-strokes. Saab even developed a special oil injection system, eliminating the need for drivers to mix oil and fuel manually. The Sonett prototype debuted at the 1956 Stockholm Motor Show, but only 6 units were built before Saab halted production. However, this was just the beginning. In 1966, the Sonett returned with a complete redesign. Gone was the roadster body, replaced by a sleek fastback design with a large wraparound rear window, reminiscent of the Plymouth Barracuda. The new Sonett II was even smaller than its British rivals like the MGB, measuring just 148 inches in length. At first, it retained the two-stroke engine, now enlarged to 841cc and producing 60 horsepower. In a car weighing 1,500 pounds, it could push past 100 mph, if you were patient. However, the real charm was in its nimble handling thanks to a fully independent suspension. Saab quickly realized that American buyers weren't keen on two-stroke engines. In response, they sourced a 1.5-liter V4 from Ford's European division. Originally designed for an economy car, the Ford Taunus 5.4 fit perfectly into the Sonett's tiny engine bay. Saab engineers customized the engine with unique intake manifolds and exhaust systems. The result? A 65-horsepower four-stroke engine with a broader torque curve, making the car far more practical for everyday driving. It also eliminated the hassle of mixing oil with fuel, a major selling point. From 1967 to 1969, Saab sold 1,600 Sonett 5.4s, marking the car's most successful years. The final evolution, Sonett III. By 1970, the Sonett received another major update. The Sonett III retained its predecessor's core but introduced a sleeker, more modern design with pop-up headlights and a full-width grille. The curved rear glass was replaced with a more practical hinged fastback design. Inside, the column-mounted shifter was finally replaced with a proper floor-mounted gear lever, improving the driving experience. Initially powered by the 1.5-liter V4, by 1972, it received a 1.7-liter version, helping compensate for tightening emissions regulations. Despite its uniqueness, the Sonett faced mounting challenges. The 1973 oil crisis shifted buyer preferences, and new U.S. safety regulations required heavy impact bumpers that added weight and hurt performance. Saab considered a replacement but ultimately pulled the plug. From 1956 to 1974, Saab built just over 10,000 Sonetts, a tiny number compared to its competitors. Owning a Sonett today requires dedication, but it's surprisingly practical for a rare sports car. The V4 engine is simple and robust when maintained properly. The fiberglass body prevents rust, though its steel frame requires careful inspection. A tight-knit Sonett community keeps these cars alive, with clubs and forums helping owners source parts and restore their vehicles. And that wraps up our look at one of Sweden's most fascinating sports cars. The Saab Sonett wasn't the fastest or most famous of its time, but it was undeniably unique. So what do you think? Would you drive a Saab Sonett, or was it just too quirky for its own good? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button and subscribe to American Muscle Wheels for more incredible stories from automotive history. Thanks for watching.